We've got some new Boogie 2988 news where Boogie 2988 on his Lolcow Live podcast yesterday essentially admitted to faking the cancer diagnosis for the last 2 years. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, 2 years ago in 2022, he said that he was on testosterone, and one of the risks of going on testosterone was getting polycythemia vera, a rare form of blood cancer. Now, through some research I've done, I'm not a medical doctor, but through some research that was started by Turkey Tom and Destiny, and then I read some more into this, polycythemia vera is not caused by taking exogenous hormones. Secondary polycythemia is, and it's very likely that Boogie was confused. So polycythemia vera is an increase in red blood cells with a decrease in the hormone EPO. Polycythemia secondary is an increase in red blood cells with an increase in that hormone. And it's very likely that Boogie saw that he has the hormone marker increased, and he got confused, saw that polycythemia was a thing, typed it into Google, and was like, oh, I've got cancer. I can get sympathy. And this was after he spent $200,000 on Women of the Night instead of, paying his mortgage. And then also claiming he lost a bunch of money in crypto. And it was like not long after he made the video, I'm rich, how crypto finally made me rich. And it's terrifying to me that Boogie was able to get away with this for so long. But the thing is, like, even though Boogie has lied about so many things, nobody thought he would ever stoop so low as to lie about this. And now, not only is he lying about it, on top of all that, he's making jokes about it. So apparently he had basal cell carcinoma as a younger person, about 25, 26 years old. And that's a cancer that's able to be treated, blah, blah, blah. It was treated, and everything's good. It's a skin cancer. It's one of the cancers that it's like easy treatment. A lot of young people get it. Old people get it. It's one of those things where it's from the sun usually. Usually it's because you're not wearing enough sunscreen. Wear your sunscreen. But anyway, he has it, and he's like, oh yeah, it's the easy cancer. And then now he says, oh yeah, I've had cancer twice. I got this polycythemia vera, and it's the starter cancer. Now, polycythemia vera has a 5% chance over the first 10 years to develop into leukemia, which is horrible. I actually had a former friend who had leukemia when he was a kid, survived, and then he wasn't really my friend because we never really got to know each other, but another guy I went to school with actually died of what I believe was leukemia. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know he did die of cancer. But Boogie's like, oh, yeah, I got the starter cancers, the easy cancer. And it's like, and he's reacting, he's laughing the way I'm laughing there. And I'm just thinking to myself, what are you doing, Boogie? Do you understand social norms or anything about society? Or the fact that you don't joke about cancer, like, ever? Especially if you're faking it? Now, I will still say allegedly, because, like, we haven't proven, but he did admit to it. He said polycythemia vera is not on his patient portal, so that's a whole thing there. I don't know what Boogie's plan is from here on out. He did bring out his Twitter back so that we could search it to see how many times he said he's never going to bring out his medical records. I didn't do that. What I did was I looked at the twit longer he posted and then just looked at all the replies because they were funny. I'm not going to go through and read any of them. They were just really funny. And then he said he's getting a colonoscopy to check for prostate cancer, which is weird because that just sounds like, oh, King Charles had a colonoscopy and they had an incidental finding of prostate cancer during that. So I, Boogie 2988, am going to be like, they're giving me a colonoscopy to check for prostate cancer. That's not a diagnostic test for that. Normally it's you check for an elevated PSA, prostate-specific antigen level, and then a biopsy. And that's a cancer that I actually know a lot about. My grandpa had it. He had prostate and colon cancer at the same time and survived, which was a miracle, really. I mean, not necessarily a miracle. Modern science, but also a miracle. But Boogie is just, He's taking things that he sort of knows, and is also like, how can I get sympathy? And then faking diseases, or faking that he needs treatments, and refusing to show the medical records because he knows he's going to get caught on it. And then he gave up almost $100,000 by not showing the medical records after running a $10,000 crypto scam. And allegedly, according to Boogie, they haven't paid him the second $5,000. So his crypto scam was only $5,000 at this point, which is just wild. And I've absolutely just been going down this rabbit hole of more Boogie lore, and it's just amazing to me with everything that's happened. But somebody put it like this: Francis is nicer than Boogie.